So, a lot of people weren't too high on Roadblock, and by the sound of things, a lot of people weren't too high on Raw either. But after watching it, I can say it had a lot of ups and it had a lot of downs, which is the whole reason why this show exists to begin with. I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is indeed Ups and Downs, where we go through Raw and break it down segment by segment to see whether it was good or whether it was bad. And I say segments because it's all about the segment, and sometimes you have really good segments, and other times you have segments which are, well, utter shit. Anyway, let's up some downs. One of the questions I had when Roadblock was over was whether WWE was trying to push Braun Strowman or they were trying to push Sami Zayn. It wasn't really made clear, and I wanted it to be made clear. Thankfully, after Raw, it's been made very clear. I thought allowing Strowman to take over the whole show was awesome. He was annoyed that he toyed around with Zayn rather than beating him in the middle of the ring, so he went out there and kicked everybody's ass. Now, he obviously wanted to kick Sami's ass, but for some reason, Sami Zayn wasn't on the show, which, for the record, was really bad, and in fact it's a down, because it made him look like a scared wimp. Strowman, on the other hand, well, he destroyed Titus O'Neil. He destroyed Sin Cara. He destroyed Seth Rollins, and he destroyed Roman Reigns, and I'm sure if he had gotten his hands on them, he would have destroyed Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho as well. Either way, if you're going all in with Braun and you want to make him into a monster, then let him run through everybody, including your main event guys. And that is what WWE did, and that is why it's an up. What wasn't so hot was the start of the show. I mean, it wasn't bad, and it did have some laugh out loud moments, but I think it's only fair to say, as it went on, it all descended into madness. So that is a down. Jericho, Owens and Foley do have great chemistry together, but as soon as Mick had said the wrong town name, because they weren't in Pittsburgh, the whole thing just fell apart. People started talking over each other, and it started to feel very awkward. But let's face it, if that had been me out there, I would have just froze and stared into the camera aimlessly. So well done for everybody involved for getting through it. What I did like was the announcement that at the Royal Rumble, Chris Jericho is going to be suspended in a shark cage above the ring as Roman Reigns gets his rematch against Kevin Owens for the Universal title. That is an up. It's just so ridiculous and so pro wrestling that I get a kick out of it. Because you keep interrupting matches, we're gonna put you in a cell and hoist you in the air so you can't interfere anymore. Don't get a bunch of security guards to watch Jericho. Don't ban Jericho from the building. No. Screw that. Put him in a shark cage. It is interesting that WWE has announced this stipulation 6 weeks out from the Royal Rumble, but I guess there's just more story here to tell, and I look forward to seeing it. I enjoyed Noam Dar versus Cedric Alexander, but it was just way too short. So it gets a down. There was no time to let the audience buy into the match or the styles that these wrestlers have, and it made the cruiserweight division just feel throwaway. And the last thing you want to be doing right now is making the cruiserweight division feel throwaway. I do like heel Noam Dar though, and he sounded like a right ass when he started making comments about Alicia Fox, who apparently is now Cedric Alexander's girlfriend. Although I'm not so hot on the fact that Alicia Fox seems to be involved with the entire cruiserweight division. That is just weird. The best thing about all the cruiserweights though is Neville. What a massive up. Aside from getting more promo time than he ever has done since he's been on the main roster, he came across as super angry and super pissed off, and now, within 2 days, Neville feels like a massive deal and somebody I should care about, and that's exactly what he deserves. Given he's got the talent to back it up, I am so ready for him to become a long-term heel champion that just beats the crap out of all his opponents. He's that good, he could be the reason the cruiserweight division starts to get better and starts to become the thing we want it to become. Neville is the catalyst. Plus, this actually gave Rich Swann, TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick the chance to tell stories and let us know who they are. And that stuff gets me going. What on earth is going on with the Rusev versus Big Cass feud? Down. What started as a fresh, if not a bit silly storyline, has now turned into matches where nothing happens. Roadblock, nothing happened. Raw last night, nothing happened. Big Cass just beat up Rusev until the ref called for the bell. Why are these two guys not allowed just to go at it and, wrestle? And then we have a winner, and then we have a loser. I have no idea what the long-term planning is here, but right now, it's a mystery to me. Thankfully, WWE did see fit to allow Rusev to run through Enzo again as he attended sensitivity training, and that, of course, is an up. Admittedly, as a whole, that whole thing was, well, a down. But sometimes it's about the destination and not the journey, and in this case, the destination was Rusev and Lana absolutely mauling Enzo. And Jinder Mahal got involved. Good old Jinder Mahal. Rusev looked like an absolute beast again, and we got to see Bob Backlund and Darren Young on TV again, which is good for me, because I was worried they were dead. The Shining Stars lost on Raw, so that gets a down, because, between you and me, I secretly like them. But everything else they did with the tag division was great, so that all gets an up. The bickering between Sheamus and Cesaro still works, although it does need to go somewhere eventually, because you can't keep doing that forever. And the New Day felt like the New Day of old, especially Big E, who had the line of the night when he said Charlotte was on course to break all of Ric Flair's title records in less than a month. Good work, Big E. Good work. We obviously need some direction for all involved now, though. I mean, who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? What's the feuds? Who should I be looking out for? But it's the end of the year, and I imagine all that will come good once January 2017 runs around. And if it doesn't, then the tag team division's gonna be rubbish. But I believe. Those new tag team title belts, though, eh? Really needed those. And they're red. Because you know, the colour of Raw is red. Down. Can you believe it? We are actually moving on from the Sasha Banks versus Charlotte feud. What a world. It is like Christmas, come early, and that is enough. Our new feuds that were made abundantly clear on Raw are Sasha versus Nia Jax and Charlotte versus Bayley, and I feel very strongly about both for the opposite reasons. This is why, for now, Nia versus Sasha is getting a down. For starters, Jax walked out there and cut a promo that sounded like she was bored, and Sasha talking herself down didn't help anything. It just made me feel unenthused about the whole thing, and to be honest, I don't really care who wins, I don't really care who loses, because they haven't given me a reason to care. I understand this is probably going to be a redemption story for Sasha Banks, who slowly builds herself back up to become the boss again, but I didn't get that from Raw. I just had two people kind of tussling with each other. Well, not even that. Jax just kicked her crutch away. I didn't like it. On the flip side, though, there was Charlotte and Bayley, who did make me care, and that gets an up. Do you know how they made me care too? By tying it into the past. Bayley let me know that she is 2-0 on Charlotte, and then she beat her again on Raw, and now she's 3-0. So my brain says, well, Bayley deserves a title shot. That's not just walking out and kicking poor bruised Sasha Banks. This felt like a sport, and when things feel like a sport, I can buy in a lot easier. Also, there was controversy at the end of the match because Charlotte may have actually had her shoulder up, so that's how we can build this for a few more weeks. See, there's a lot in there. There's depth and foundations, and now the foundations are built, I can start decorating the house. Whatever that means. You know what the most major down of the evening was? Please, 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 WWE, remember that Roman Reigns is your US champion. Every week, that belt vanishes into dust and becomes more and more obscure. Look at what The Miz is doing with the IC Championship on SmackDown. Just do that on Raw. Give it to Sami Zayn. Hell, give it to Rusev. Just give it to someone and stop letting it die. And that's not on Roman, by the way, before we all go crazy in the comments. He's just an employee. He does what he is told. He can't go out there and start waving it around unless they tell him to start waving it around. So it's not on him. So yeah, that was Raw, and it was your typical end of year show where a little bit happened, but not that much. It will kick off again once we get into January and the road to WrestleMania begins for real. But I still think there were things to enjoy, because I always think there are things to enjoy. Look at that smile. Now don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and leave a comment below to let us know what you thought about Raw, and then come follow me on Twitter at SimonMiller316. It's where the internet party happens. I do believe, because of the festive season too, that this is my last ups and downs of 2016. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in, week out, and I hope that your holiday season is full of dreams and full of hopes. One final note too, Braun Strowman looking dead into the camera by accident as he was destroying the backstage area was the best thing that happened on Raw all year. He looked utterly baffled.